I'm Jordan Raynor, and this is the Word Before Work.
Today we're reading from Romans 12:18. Here's what Paul says. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Again, that was Romans chapter 12, verse 18. I'm ashamed to admit that I've been waiting 8 years for someone to make the first move in pursuing peace with me. From my perspective, this person is the quote unquote more guilty party in our conflict, whatever that means. But I'll be honest, today's passage is really convicting for me. Convicting me to take the first step towards peace. This verse is also the source of the second of 7 biblical principles I'm sharing for resolving conflict at work. Here it is. Principle number 2, make the first move to resolve any conflict. This principle is directly connected to the first one that we explored last week, to praise the Prince of Peace for the grace and mercy he has shown us. Friends, if Jesus waited for the guilty party, you and me, to make the first move in resolving our conflict with God, you and I would be eternally dead in our sin. But Christ did move first. He pursued peace with us while we were his enemies, rejecting him. And so to follow Jesus fully includes following his examples to blaze trails of peace with those we work with, which is why Paul said in Romans 12:18, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Hebrews 12:14 says the same thing, quote, make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy, end quote. The call here is proactive rather than reactive in the image of Christ. What conflict is nagging at your attention most today? Maybe it's a team member you're frustrated with for missing a deadline, or a boss whose stubborn opinion on a policy infuriates you, or a client who you've heard has been speaking poorly about you behind your back. Whatever it is, resolve to make the first move to pursue peace. To make this more practical, allow me to suggest you take a couple of minutes to complete these 4 actions. First, create a note in a place that will be easily accessible to you throughout this series. It could be a note on your phone, your desktop, a journal, wherever. Second, in that note, write down the name of the person you've been thinking about as I've been expounding upon this devotional, the one you have the most unresolved conflict with. And if you can't think of anybody, think about who you don't want to see on Zoom or in the office or at the grocery store today. That's the name you're going to write down. Third, jot down Romans 12:18 underneath that person's name to remind yourself of the biblical call for you to make the first move and pursue peace. And fourth and finally, pray right now for the name on your list and ask the Lord for wisdom as you pursue peace with that person. Next week, we'll get even more practical about what God's word says about how to do exactly that. Today's devotional only scratches the surface of how God's word connects to our work. If you want to go deeper, sign up for my free 20-day devotional called The Word Before Work Foundations at twbwfoundations.com. These email devotionals are designed to help you gain a rich understanding of the biblical narrative of work, how exactly your work matters for eternity, and what those truths mean for how we ought to work today. You can sign up right now, again, for free at twbwfoundations.com.